Okay, I'm not sure if this is a good angle. I mean, I've done videos in this angle before. It's just so frustrating. I never know really how to put the camera. You would think that I had learned by now, but I don't know. I need a new camera. Anyway, I have a lot to show you. I noticed that it's actually a long time since I made a video, or since I made an update. I did a Criterion unboxing maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and well, I guess that's a DVD update, but if you don't count that one, it's been longer than that. So anyway, this is just a regular DVD update. First, we have Grounded for Life Season 1, which I watched this on TV well, a long time ago, I guess, hours ago, what the hell, years ago. And I remember liking it a lot. This is the flashback sitcom. I don't know if it's known to be that, but they use flashbacks in every episode to tell the stories, and it's always sort of mysteries in the episode. Something has happened, and by the beginning of the episode, the audience have no idea, and most of the characters, well, it tends to be one of the characters knows what happens, and it's up to the audience and the other characters in the show to find out along the episode, or up to them, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I watched the first episode and didn't like it. Was surprised how I remember really liking it back then, but then I watched more of it, and it did get a lot better. So I recommend this show to people who like comedy. Anyway, it's not the best, but it's definitely good, I think. Then we got Nitro Circus Season 1. I had heard about this a lot. I watched some clips on YouTube a few years ago, and I thought it looked kind of generic and mediocre, or just boring generic stunts basically, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to see this, but this was a cheap season, so I decided to get it. Basically it's stunts mixed with extreme sports, and they're actually professionals, like Travis Pastrana. He's just a maniac when it comes to vehicles and motocross in particular, and he can do most things on vehicles, and I don't know. Anyway, the others are mostly professionals too, and yeah, it's kind of fun. It's surprisingly forgettable, or maybe it shouldn't be that surprising, since I mean, by now people are probably pretty used to seeing these kind of things. At least a lot of people, I think, are these kind of stunts and people jumping with various vehicles and doing stupid stuff. I mean, it kind of blends in with a lot of other things these days, but it is fun if you're into this sort of stuff. Then we got Top Gear, Great Adventures 1 and 2, I guess. Well, it has Polar Special, US Special, Botswana and Vietnam, so 4 different specials, but the 1 and 2 means, well, I guess the Polar and US Special were probably released as one, and then Botswana and Vietnam was released as a second, and here we have both of them. It doesn't say 1 and 2 anywhere, but I think that's how it is. Anyway, I have heard about this for years. I've heard about Top Gear, and I've sort of connected it with cars, especially whose name I now know is Jeremy Clarkson. I always connected his face with cars, and I thought it seemed very boring. But then I found out not long ago at all that Top Gear, there were these specials, for example these Great Adventures, and they go out and they have a mission from the network or whoever, the producers, or I don't know. I don't know how much is scripted either, how much is improvisational and real or whatever. A lot of it is probably scripted, and maybe there's even retakes, I don't know. Most likely not that many, but anyway, you can tell that a lot of it is not genuine or whatever. But that doesn't matter. It just adds to the whole comedy feeling of the show that it has. At least these Great Adventure specials. So I've only seen these 4 by now, and I'm gonna get some other ones. There are 6 volumes out, and this being the first 2, so another 4 that I can get. And then there's also Top Gear Challenges, which is another kind of special, I guess, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna want to see that, but I'm definitely gonna get the other Great Adventure ones. This I'd recommend if you like the Michael Palin travels. This could be up your alley. This is more vehicle oriented, or you don't have to be interested in vehicles, in cars, to enjoy it though, because it's road movies, and it's a lot of culture and a lot of comedy, and it's just a lot of fun. And especially the Vietnam special I liked. So I definitely recommend that too. And this one I was really happy to get, finally, Curb Your Enthusiasm Season 8. I'm not gonna stop hoping for a Season 9 until Larry David dies, basically, which probably will take very long, because he seems to be in a very good shape for his age, and that's promising, because he is 66 or something, and that's pretty old, but considering he's in good shape, so he could probably keep going for years and more seasons with this show if he wanted to, and I hope he wants to do that. So anyway, this season was a little weaker than some of the better ones, but I mean the writing is still great. How the different stories, the different different bizarre subjects of every episode, that you will know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, how they all intertwine, sort of. He always does that really good. But some of the problems, or I don't know how to explain it. If you haven't seen the show, then maybe you won't know what I'm talking about. But a lot of the stuff, a lot of the problems that comes up with Larry David's character, or whatever, aren't as good in this season, but the writing is pretty solid. I mean, a couple of these things were in the Criterion unboxing, but I hadn't seen them then, so I could only show them. I'll just pick some at random here. The Phantom Carriage. I have a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about most of these, even though I've only shown 4 DVDs. Now this is 7 minutes. There's a lot of things that I've had to leave out, because I tend to like talking, and I talk too much sometimes. Anyway, this it's a Swedish movie from 1921. It actually says there on the front, which is very unusual. Maybe, I don't know if most Criterions do that, but this one does anyway. I liked it. I thought it was good. The way he tells, or the way the story is told, with the flashbacks within flashbacks, it's very well told, and even though it seems complicated with flashbacks in flashbacks all the time, basically, it's you totally understand what's going on, and it's not really an issue. The music, I just have to mention this on a personal level, because the band Funeral Mist, Swedish one man black metal band, they have used a sample from this movie, which I didn't know that. I knew that he used a lot of samples in his music, but I didn't know that specific passage or whatever was a sample. But then I watched the movie, and it's the sequence where the carriage sequence where death is introduced, or whatever, or death's companion. I don't know, the guy who drives the carriage, not Death himself, but and the super freaky music that is played there, that's a sample that Funeral Mist guy, what's his name, Daniel Rostin, something like that he used. And that I found out that music is written by Matti Bye, or spelled B-Y-E is his last name spelled, so probably English speaking people will pronounce it Matti Bye, but it's Bye. So anyway, I think he wrote that in 97 or something, and I didn't know that when I watched it. I was thinking that maybe the music existed in 1921, which would be so cool, but I was thinking that, well, maybe it's, I mean, I don't know, it sounded like it could have, but I wasn't sure for some reason. And no, it was written in 97 or something like that. So anyway, I think the guy who wrote that music I did watch a couple of YouTube videos he uploaded, or he has his own YouTube channel. I don't know if he uploads them himself, but I think he should get a lot more attention just because of the music on this movie, because that's fantastic. Especially that one sequence that I told you about. Anyway, Female Trouble. I don't know. John Waters, not really my thing, I guess. This is. I don't know how much of the extreme cheapness and grittiness. Well, the grittiness, I'm sure, but how much of all the cheap stuff in this was intentional? I mean, the more the better, obviously. Well, to me that's obvious, but I don't know if everything was supposed to be as dumb and cheesy as it is. I'm sure most of it was, but I just don't know how much exactly. So, I don't know, that's not really the main problem. It's just not my type of movie. And from now on, I don't think I'm gonna care about John Waters for a long time, so maybe, unfortunately, I should say, or I should add, uh, I don't know. It was okay, I mean, I don't know. Then we got Once Upon a Time in America, Blu-ray. Uh, I'm really annoyed with this movie because it started out so fucking good, especially at least from when their childhood starts. That whole 1/3 of the movie or whatever was just incredible, and then it went downhill after that, I thought. And the way it ended with the big reveal, or not really the big reveal, but the thing with James Woods. Let me just say that I just didn't like that, and I don't know. It was good. I would recommend it mainly because of that first sequence, or the first third or whatever of the movie. Not the first, because the movie starts, maybe it goes on for half an hour or something, and then the sequence I'm talking about starts. This movie is 4 hours after all, so anyway, for that sequence I recommend it. But I think I'm gonna watch it again sometime, and hopefully I'll like it more, maybe. Let's see here. We got Northern Exposure Season 2. Got this for a very cheap price. I don't know, with shipping, maybe $250 from UK. So that's a great price. I think this is broken somewhere. Yeah, okay. It's up here. It's broken a little bit. Yeah, great show. Actually currently watching Season 3, but I will talk more about what I have to say about the show in the next update when I show you Season 3. Because a lot of what I have to say right now concerns Season 3, which is kind of obvious since that's what I'm watching, so I'll just wait. Then we got Season 2 and 3 of Will and Grace. I don't know if you can tell, but this is Danish. But I think it's the first Danish DVDs that I have, or the first that I bought in Denmark anyway. So Season 2 and 3. I kind of like this show. A lot of the jokes are just ridiculously bad. Like, there's so many obvious jokes. I mean, the way they tell a lot of jokes, the way they build them up, or it's not a lot of build up to start with, but just the way they deliver a lot of the jokes, they do it the same way over and over, and it's not like it's original to this show. It's just really dull and annoying. But despite that, it's a fun show. Gets on my nerves. I think I liked Season 1 a little more. I think I liked the show a little more after Season 1 than now, which is unusual because I tend to like shows more the more I watch them. But I don't dislike it now. I just anyway. We got 2 box sets or 2 DVDs with Louis Theroux. Some specials of his, or I don't know if they're considered specials because it's everything that he does are specials in that case, basically. But on this one you have the Best of Weird Weekends, and those are, well, I think it says on the discs. The Weird Weekends ones is Porn, Head for the Hills, swingers and black nationalism, wrestling, South Africa, Thai brides, and gangster rap. So it's basically a short documentary about each of those subjects if you don't know what it is already. And then you have the best of when Louis met, and there you have when Louis met Jimmy, when he met Paul and Debbie, Chris Eubank, and Widdecombe, whatever, the Hamiltons. And then also you have Louis and the Nazis and Louis and the brothel. So that's what you have on this one, and I paid maybe £9 for this, and that's a great price considering you have 800 minutes of stuff on here. Yeah, I think I liked the Weird Weekends ones the most, but they were all entertaining. I had this weird, I cannot explain the feeling, this unpleasant feeling when I watched them, which is something personal. I'm sure nobody else is gonna have that feeling because it was just odd. So I don't know why I'm mentioning it. But I don't know. So I guess I said it because that sort of makes me connect him or his documentaries with something slightly negative. I don't know, hard to explain, but I guess that's a bad thing. I don't know. And then this one, which it's called Law and Disorder. So we have a Philadelphia. Well, I think are they only called Law and Disorder in Philadelphia, I think, and Law and Disorder in Johannesburg. And then you have a place for pedophiles. Phone is ringing. Let's ignore that. And then you have crystal meth. So a documentary about each of these subjects, and they're all part of this main subject here or whatever. So I enjoyed the other one more. Well, I could mention that this one is very humorous in nature, very comedic. This one is not. This is serious, which is kind of given, I guess. But yeah, so maybe that's why I enjoyed the other one the most. But this one was worth watching too. It was kind of, some things was a bit generic in a way. Didn't have much that stood out above the documentaries. Yeah, okay, so I have a lot of things left. I don't know if I should continue or if the video is long enough. I'll show you two more, okay. Armor of God, Jackie Chan movie. This was great. I don't think I had seen it before, actually. Obviously, this is the movie where he nearly died. I definitely liked it. Has a lot of funny stuff, a lot of adrenaline in this one. There's a lot of adrenaline in most of them, but I don't like the look or the feel of the DVD. It feels really old. I suspect that the DVD is old. I think it's about, maybe 2000, or I think it's from, if I read the back correctly. Let's end with this one, Down Periscope. Was supposed to be a parody movie, but it's barely a parody movie. It's a comedy with a slight comedy feeling. I was expecting something with the humor along the lines of, The Naked Gun and Airplane and stuff like that, Hot Shots. But this is feels more like a Police Academy sequel, the type of comedy that they have. This is kind of along the lines of those, if you ask me. Because the first Police Academy is vaguely parody, I guess. Or it's a little parody, but the sequels aren't really. And this felt a little like that. So I was a little disappointed. The movie is not great either. It's I don't know. It's okay, very forgettable. That's ill. That's it for this time. I don't think it's gonna take very long before the next update. I'll just wait a little while until I get a few more things, and I'll do another one in a couple of days probably. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.